know why it took me so long. You left to Arizona, I stayed in California.
Alright, what is good YouTube? You know it's your boy Mikey, and yes, I'm making another video for you guys, and it's about that time. You know, you got your composition notebooks, you got your little handy dandy pencil, you got your books, you got your textbooks, you bring your knowledge into that schoolwork, you feel me? Yes, I'm talking about it is back to school. It is back to school, everybody, so it's about that time. We're in the middle of July now, and it's getting near to August, so it's about that time we talk about top 10 back to school sneakers. And before we dive into this, I just want to let you guys know that we have reached 100 subs, so you know, we're gonna give a little clap to that. But also just thank you guys so much for supporting this channel. Thank you guys so much for leaving input on this channel as well. Supporting me, it really means a lot to me. This is almost like a dream come true for you guys actually really being there for me through the worst videos, through the best videos, and so on and so forth. So yeah. And also for anybody that's new to my channel, make sure you guys just subscribe to me, like this video if you actually like me doing this type of content, and if you want me to continue doing this content, just be sure to leave a subscribe as well. So starting off, what we have here are the Adidas Original NMD R1. I don't have this shoe to show off for you guys, sadly, but this is a really classic shoe. I think it's been around for maybe I'd say like 6-7 years maybe, and it's definitely still a reoccurring shoe. I think the silhouette of the shoe is still great in my opinion. Definitely comfortable. You know, you got that Boost technology, will be comfortable as always, so you can never go wrong with that. But I think this shoe still does range around, I think, 110 to 150. So depending on the colorway, obviously your most hyped colorways are going to be more expensive, and sometimes the least hyped colorways are going to be even cheaper. From what I know, you can just go on Foot Locker, Champs, Foot Action, so on and so forth, and you can look for a pair. And I think there still might be some on sale. They actually have some decent colorways coming out, or that's already out if they haven't. So I would definitely consider getting a pair. They're comfortable, and if you want to be that type of guy that, you know, you want to be cozy and everything, I would definitely recommend this shoe. And like I said, it is a great silhouette, so it is easy to pull off any outfit with that kind of shoe. And if you can't pull it off, I mean, I don't know what to tell you, but maybe try something else on. And for this shoe, I would recommend going true to size. However, if you do have a chance to try them on, I would solely recommend that to you guys. And then next on our list, number 9, you know, we got the Converse One Star. So this is kind of a shoe that's popping up again. They're re-retroing the shoe, and I think it's a really cool thing that they are. It's a really dope shoe. Converse, ever since they made the transition to being owned by Nike, their technology has been flawless, and it's more comfortable to wear, and they actually come out with really decent heat. And these shoes probably are the cheapest option on this list. They are $65 to $75. So like I said, they are Converse, so they might not be the best comfortable shoe, but like I said, they have made that transition, and ever since I heard great things from them. It is a Converse One All-Star, so I can see it being pretty easy to pull out a fit with those. I don't see anything really, you know, wouldn't correlate an outfit with those. Those are a dope shoe. They're a great silhouette. They also have done collabs with Golf, and if you don't know what Golf is, it is Tyler the Creator's clothing line, and it's super cool. I would highly recommend his brand. However, they would kind of be a little bit more expensive. For those are usually range around, I think, 110. You can if you want, but I would just recommend just getting the classic One Star. And for those, I would recommend going a half size down. They are Converse. I think they still fit the same way that they always been. So yeah, just go a half size down and you should be good to go. All right, number 8 that's on our list is the Nike React Presto. So I mentioned these shoes quite a bit during my videos and everything, because I do feel like it is not an underrated shoe, but an underappreciated shoe. The technology of the React midsoles and everything like that they put into that, it's super comfortable. I've tried on a pair a couple times, and I'm like, yo, why do I not have these yet? But I am doing a project with those right now, so that will be coming in a later video. But for right now, I'm just gonna dive into this without even actually having a pair, sadly. But they are a really great shoe. I would highly recommend getting those. They're very comfortable, very light on your feet, and the silhouette isn't too bad. I think what trips people out is the way the midsole is formed and shaped. I wouldn't even be tripping about that, because honestly, like I said, comfort beats anything in my opinion when it comes to wearing a shoe. And these do range around 120 depending on the colorway. Like I said, you might even find some cheaper depending on the colorway. but for the most part, I think they are just staying at 120. So it's not too bad, doesn't break the bank too much, and I would probably recommend going a half size down on these. I'm a 9.5, and for those, I would wear a size 9 because they do run a little bit big, but like I said, try them on when you have the chance. Alright, so number 6 on our list is the Puma RS X. So I mentioned these shoes quite a bit as well. These are a Puma shoe. I wouldn't say they've been around for a while, but they have been here for maybe less than a year, maybe a year. But I feel like these shoes are still underrated in my opinion because the shape of the shoe is pretty much what everybody wants to go for. It's that dad clunkiness, that dad shoe that everybody likes. But the only thing that makes these shoes even better than that is that it also has a slickness to it. If you guys have purchased recently the Puma RSOs, those in my opinion feel like the prototype of the RS X. And the RS X is a more sleeker look and just looks flawless. So if you really want that dad shoe look, I would highly recommend going into these shoes. These shoes do range around, I think, 110 and maybe under, depending on, like I said, the colorway. The colorway really matters when it comes to pricing a shoe and how well the sales do as well. I do not own a Puma RS X, but my RSOs are very comfortable and I don't see anything wrong with the silhouette and everything. It's just the colorways, I think, that are a huge issue in my opinion. I feel like the Puma RS X does lack basic colorways. They always have like a colorway that's like super different and super vibrant, I guess. And I see what the look that they're going for, but sometimes people don't know how to pull certain colors off and it just makes it look like a shoe that you can never find an outfit with. I would say it's not a hard shoe to pull an outfit with, but it's not the easiest as well. And from what I've heard, I would recommend going to true to size or even a half size smaller because I heard these do run kind of big. And that being said, let's get on to the next shoe. Alright, so coming in at number 5, we have the Nike React Element 55. Pretty much everybody knows this shoe because of the Element 87s. So if you have an Element 87, everybody, from what I've heard, it's a really great shoe. It's very thin, it's very light, it's very breathable on your feet, so it's not too hot. And it's almost like the perfect summer shoe. So perfect summer kicking a shoe, walking around and, you know, just being comfortable. These shoes are very comfortable from what I've heard. And like I said, again, they are the React technology. Those are one of the newest ones when it comes to Nike putting out anything new as far as the comfort and the technology of the shoe. These Nike React Element 55s do range around 90 to 130, like I said, depending on the colorway. From this shoe, there's a lot to choose from, so I can't really see what colorway doesn't work for you. There's a lot of them. There's a black on black, black on red, black on, I think, I would say Tiffany blue, but not really, like an aqua. And just so on and so forth. There's lots of colorways. They're a really comfortable shoe and it's a great silhouette shoe as well. So if you don't have the budget for an 87, because I know 87s resale price wise, they are a little bit up there depending on the colorway. But if you don't have access to an 87, you can always have access to a 55. And the 55 is almost just as good as the 87 in my opinion. So these are a shoe that to where you can honestly pull a pretty good outfit with. Wear some like Nike Tech fleece or whatnot, or even just wear anything. And for these shoes, I would recommend going a half size larger, but also they might be true to size as well, depending on your foot size, if you have a flat foot or you have narrow feet, whatever the case may be. So that's pretty much sums up that shoe, and we can get on to the next one. Alright, so the next shoe that we have is the Nike Air Max 1. These shoes have always been popular. They never really went out of style as far as, I guess, trends go. This shoe has always been around like literally everywhere. Ever since they dropped the OG colorway of the Nike Air Max 1s, I feel like the shoe was brought back to life in a new way. And the silhouette is just so clean on the shoe, it just literally goes with anything. And I think these shoes do range around between $84 and $130, like I said, depending on the colorway. For these shoes, like I said, there's not really much to say about them. They're just a sleek silhouette shoe. I personally want to get a pair of these in the near future because I feel like it's a shoe that is just made for me because it's very comfortable, great silhouette, and they're not just so expensive. So the Nike Air Max 1 is definitely the way to go when it comes to finding a really dope shoe as far as an Air Max model. So those ones would definitely be one to go for. And for these shoes, I do recommend going true to size. I have tried them on in person. at like Foot Locker, Champs, and so on and so forth, and they do run pretty true. That's the Nike Air Max 1, and we can get on to the next shoe. So number 3 on my list are the Puma Weights. So the reason why I recommend this shoe to a lot of people is that, like I said, Puma has been making a lot of moves lately. They're definitely becoming trendy now as far as re-retroing sneakers and everything, and creating new ones as well. Puma Weights are always that classic shoe that never went out of style. And the thing that makes them really great is that the silhouette is super clean. It's crisp. The cut of the shoe is a low top, and they just never went out of style as far as I know. These shoes do range around, I believe, $49.99 to $60 or even $65. That depending on the colorway. You might be able to find a shoe that's $49, and you find a colorway that's more popular, you might see it being in the $65 range. The quality of the shoe is really good. I don't know about comfort. Comfort on these shoes, I probably wouldn't say they're the most comfortable, but they do get the job done. They look really good, and it's Puma, so I love Puma. I've been loving the things that they've been doing and putting out, so good job, Puma. But like I've mentioned before, there's many colorways to go: green, red, black. I would recommend going with black. For these, I would recommend going true to size. I've only put them on maybe a couple times. I still don't have a Puma suede. I don't know why, I just don't. And I feel like I honestly would rather wear the Puma suedes than the RSOs that I have, because the colorway is just like not a colorway that I can just put a lot of outfits with. But at least with the Puma suedes, it has versatility, so I can pull off like literally anything out of my closet and wear those. Alright, so coming in at number 2, thank God, because I actually do have these shoes, and they are the Vans. We have the old schools, and then we have the skate highs. If you guys know anything about this shoe, it's pretty much everywhere, especially around the West Coast. You'll see these everywhere. The really good thing about this shoe is, like I said, the versatility with outfits with this shoe. You can pull it off with anything with no problem, no brand mix matching or whatnot, so I definitely highly recommend doing these. Plus the price range is like perfect, so it's definitely a shoe that you can buy over and over and over and over again without even worrying about a budget or anything. And for these, I would say they are moderately comfortable. I wouldn't say they're the most comfortable. I think walking in these a long time, you're gonna start to feel a little ache. I feel like for school, you can kind of bear it, so it's not too bad. I would definitely recommend getting these, and I would also recommend getting the skate highs. These are definitely a shoe that's I feel like a really good silhouette high cut shoe. I don't wear much high cut shoes, but if it would be, it'd be either the Jordan 1s or it would be these ones, or Jordan 11s. And as far as I know, for the old schools, these do run true to size, so I am a 9.5, and these are also 9.5. However, for the skate highs, I would recommend going a size down. I am 9.5, and I believe these are 8.5s. And like I said, the thing that I really liked about these shoes is that the price range isn't that really bad. Like I said, for the old schools, for the most part, I believe you can get up to like 60 and maybe under, depending on the colorway or what's going on. There's like back to school sale, so I think they're having like a really good sale on old schools and skate highs right now, so I would definitely recommend getting into that. For skate highs, for the most part, I believe they're $70 because more material is used. Obviously, it's a high cut, it's going to be a little bit more pricier, but $60, $70 for a sneaker, I believe, is not a bad idea at all. Alright, so before we get into number 1, I do have some honorable mentions, or maybe one honorable mention. It is the Jordan 1 lows and mids. So a lot of buzz has been happening around these shoes, and lately, because they've been releasing a lot of colorways with the lows and mids. I would highly recommend getting into low tops. The low tops are super clean. I've seen them in store. They have like a black and gold pair. They have like a black and red one. It's like kind of like a black toe, and they have like a black and yellow one as well. And I think that one's all suede and whatnot. So the suede kind of turned me off from the black and yellow ones, but they still do look really good. The thing about getting into sneakers is that you should not feel like you should be afraid to try anything new. Lows are something that a lot of people are afraid to jump in because they're not the OG high cut sneaker of that Jordan 1 model, and you shouldn't feel bad about that. These are lows and mid tops. They still are Jordan 1 models, so I don't see anything wrong with that. They may not be OG, but they still are a Jordan 1 model. The lows are definitely a cool sneaker. I'd actually been looking into getting a couple pairs, because sometimes I don't want to wear a high cut sneaker and I just want to wear a low tops, like I'm just going out to the beach or something, or I'm going out just chilling out with my friends or whatnot. Sometimes it might be the best choice, and they look really good. And the thing about mid tops are, I literally know about everybody that kind of shits on them. Don't be afraid to wear mid tops, bro. Like, I know the cut is kind of weird depending on if you're like a short guy like me, mid tops kind of look iffy. They look like high tops on you, and if you are a tall guy, mid tops will look kind of weird for you. However, like I said, the colorways that have been coming up with mid tops are still pretty good. I know the black and yellow ones that recently dropped, those are still a shoe on my list that I really want to get. Those are definitely really great shoe. Yes, and the mid tops have recently dropped a colorway. I believe it's like the black and yellow pair, and those are still a shoe that's on my list. Think of it as the new loves, but the yellow is a little bit brighter. In my opinion, I both like the new loves and the new shoe that they came out with. Personally, I still want to get a pair. I don't see anything wrong with it. I feel like the number one thing that everybody kind of degrades about the shoe is that it doesn't have the OG Nike Air on the tongue, and I'm just like, that's literally just one part of the shoe. You cannot tell me that one part of the shoe literally ruins the whole Jordan 1 model. If there was one thing that ruined the Jordan 1 model shoe, it would definitely have to be the contours, because that red stripe, man, that's beyond me, man. I don't know what they were doing. I don't know what they thought, how that was cool. The material they used on it was really bad. So at least when I'm criticizing a shoe, I can at least point out the different materials and the shape and the silhouette and what I like and don't like about the shoe. So either Nike Air or the Jordan Jumpman on the tongue, it's still a Jordan 1 model shoe. So if you were thinking about getting a Jordan 1, I would highly recommend getting lows and mid tops. They're not that expensive. I believe lows around $100. You might even find any cheaper, probably on Nike outlets or maybe even the website as well. And mid tops, I believe, are like around $120. But like I said, depending on the colorway, it could be on sale or not. So I would highly recommend into getting those. All right, so the last one, number 1 on our list, and I think you guys probably seen this coming because I put this as number 1 to begin with, and that is the Nike Air Force 1. The reason why I always put this as number 1 is because the leather quality on the shoe is pretty decent. It's a very sturdy shoe, very durable shoe, and it's super clean and super crisp. Like, I don't understand how you would hate this shoe, especially if you're getting into the Coke Whites. I mean, if you have an all white Air Force 1, I mean, they pretty much go with everything, so I don't see anybody wearing these and not pulling an outfit off. For these shoes, I would recommend going a half size down. These are 9.5, and I probably should have gone a 9 because I had to like literally tie them. So I would recommend going a half size down. But if you do have the chance, obviously try them on. And if you like the low cut of the sneaker like I do, these are like around 90 bucks. So I would definitely be looking into that. Not that expensive for a durable shoe like this. If you want that mid top, obviously it'll be like 95 or within that range. And if you want the higher cut, they're gonna be 100. Definitely don't break the bank at all. It's still under $150 by $50. So I would definitely recommend into getting these. Half size down, versatile with the fits, and just a old classic shoe. There's just I don't see anything wrong with this shoe, and that is why they rank number 1. And that pretty much sums up my video. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and thank you guys for the support as well. I probably will be doing something in the near future because of the 100 subs that I've got, but for right now I don't really have any ideas, but I will come up with some in the near future, and I will put an update on that, my Instagram or my Twitter. So if you want to follow me, you can always follow me at Nice Mike with 2 E's, and then I'll like leave up some updates about that in the near future. That is my top 10 list as far as sneakers go, being $150. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. And don't forget to subscribe to the team as always, over freak, and I'll leave a link in the description down below. Deuces. We're gonna fly.